I can see, it's starting to get dark. I can see lights over there. There's a port probably 3 miles away. Let's get into land. And they can't hear you. Because they're so arrogant. They're so caught in the moment. They're so hooked into the matrix. And soon the waves are really big and they're crashing over. And then you see the people on the boat. Some are like 6-month-old babies. Some are like year-old babies. Some are like 2-year-old babies. And the oldest amongst them is like 5, 6 years old. You're seeing them now for the mental midgets they are, but not bad people. They're just their potential arrested. And so I'm sitting there as the waves get bigger and bigger, and I'm like, listen to me. We got to turn around the island. You can't even see it now. There may be a little bit of light. I know the direction it is. The waves are getting really big. We got to turn around.
You're a fucking anti-American.
I'm an anti-American?
Yeah.
You stupid bastard. I'm a fucking patriot.
No matter what the globalists want to do, no matter what politicians want to do, this country is going to make it.
We will look back on tonight as when this new chapter of American greatness began.
The War Room. Infowars.com/show.
America is not perfect, but everybody wants to get it for a reason. We've got spirit. And we've tried to do some good things. We've done a lot of good things. We've done some bad things as well. But it's now come out that Communist China is in control of the Democratic Party. That's why they were saying that Trump was a Russian agent, was to distract from that. It's now come out that the Democrats have announced a plan for government takeover of the internet. Even Reason.com is now reporting that. It's come out that Feinstein knew she was getting money the whole time, that her driver and attaché and the guy that handled all her documents and stuff she always had by her side was a high-level Chinese agent. The media is trying to spin that right now. It's total penetration. Hollywood or national debt. I'm not going to go back into that now. But as a father, as a father, as a human being, I'm not going to put any articles or videos up now. I'm going to talk about something personal here, okay? I have to look reality in the mirror every morning. And I've talked about some of the stuff that's happened to us over the years, but a lot of it I haven't gotten into just because at a gut level, I don't think it's best to talk about. But I could see where all this was going, and I could see the next steps they're going to take and what they're going to pull on me, what they've already pulled on me. And so what they've already taken away, what they've already done to me, there isn't much more they can do. And that was an empowering feeling. And I have very, very vivid dreams, very, very long dreams, very, very colorful dreams, some good, some bad, some ugly, some benign. But I always know when I have an incredibly powerful waking dream. And I had a dream last night that lasted months. And sometimes I'm having a dream and my mind says this is a dream and I decide to go out of it. But in this dream, I realized this isn't a dream. This is an archetype of what you've got to do and the choice you've got to make so that you understand the decision mentally in your brain to have comfort when you make the decisions for what you've already done and now what you've got to do. And I'll tell this story briefly and then go to Roger Stone. But here was the crux of it. I'm out on this big, giant catamaran with like 20, 30 people in the sun. It looks like Hawaii. And it's beautiful, blue water, really smooth. You can see the big green mountains in the distance. And you're around the corner and you see a volcano erupting. You have the symbol of something new happening. And you look and the ship is sinking. And the waves are bigger. And they're coming over. And you go, well, who's this crew? And you're trying to talk to the crew. And you're saying, let's go to the land. And they look at you like you're crazy. And you're like, but the seas are rising. It's dangerous. I can see, it's starting to get dark. I can see lights over there. There's a port probably 3 miles away. Let's get into land. And they can't hear you. Because they're so arrogant. They're so caught in the moment. They're so hooked into the matrix. And soon the waves are really big and they're crashing over. And then you see the people on the boat. Some are like 6-month-old babies. Some are like year-old babies. Some are like 2-year-old babies. And the oldest amongst them is like 5, 6 years old. You're seeing them now for the mental midgets they are, but not bad people. They're just their potential arrested. And so I'm sitting there as the waves get bigger and bigger. And I'm like, listen to me. We got to turn around the island. You can't even see it now. There may be a little bit of light. I know the direction it is. The waves are getting really big. We got to turn around. And they're not listening. And then I realize I've got to find the wheel, and I've got to try to turn this around. I'm not looking to run the wheel. They're all in la-la land, though, not even running it. I try to turn back towards it. And as we get some distance close to land, a little bit closer, can see lights again. It's all like an evil manipulation. Suddenly the water's smooth. But there's sharks swimming all around the boat. And the toddlers are trying to fall off the edge and dangling their fingers down as the sharks come by and snap. And then all of a sudden the waves start back up again. And all of a sudden the ship starts sinking again. And then an outside force says, you're going to have to climb out of the boat. Your weight's too big, which means you're going to have to sacrifice yourself. You're going to have to tell the truth, or they're not going to make it ashore. And then I looked, and some of the children were my children, born and unborn. And then I started crying, thinking, oh, my God, there's children on this boat. If I get off the boat, there's no one to steer it because I just steered it. And God said, it doesn't matter. You're going to have to get off the boat. They're going to have to be men now. They're going to have to be women because they're not listening to you anyways. Your presence alone is allowing them to continue to be children. I'm not even thinking about the sharks at that point. And then right as I go to climb over the side, there's just these big, ugly sharks just waiting and smiling like demons laughing at me. I just happily climb into that cold water. Boom. All of a sudden I wake up. And there was different permutations of the dream. It went on forever. But people make it to land. And now they're more like teenagers, but there's sharks on land that don't look like sharks. So they're going through the development of life. And soon we have to get back on the ship to leave this island because it's a bad island. We've got a new ship. We got off. We got better. We grew up some. There's a new challenge for the new age, for the new system. And we're going again. And now it's the waves and the sharks. And some people say the sharks are our friends. Let's give ourselves to the sharks. And people I love, who I didn't even know who they were. I love them. I'm crying in the dream. They're throwing themselves into being chewed apart. They're like, no, the sharks are my friend. And they jump in and are torn apart in a shark frenzy. And then I realized all that matters is we get to a real island with enough people to start a new civilization. Let's go. And so you just go through the waves and all of it. And finally, I'm in the water trying to tow the boat. There's other people with me trying to tow it in because the sails are all torn off towards the land. And we get there. And then I'm suddenly like in this temple, this ancient temple, looking down from like a floating island above them, and I can see a new civilization and children, the people that were children making a new world. And it's like, we did it. All of it was worth it. People are going to make it. Most are going to die. Their souls are going to die. That's a sad thing, but it's free will. And I was gone. And at that point, it was the most, I woke up with no more anxiety, no more fear, no more anything. God had comforted me with a whole God's AI, God's war game, explaining it all to me. And there was the phone, bzz, 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 bzz. New York Times, all of them celebrating, laughing at me. And I just thought, God, those are the children I loved and I lost. They're the ones that jumped in and said, I'm like, I'm like, please listen, they're not your friend. And they would just go, F you, and like punch me in the face and just jump in and be torn apart. But the one thing that mattered, and it was selfish, was that when we hit that final island, my children had gone on, at least some, and made it. And that's what mattered. And God, you want your kids to make it. This is a real spiritual choice right now. And those sharks obviously were fallen entities, demons, who want to destroy the future and who just don't want Earth to be successful. It's why nothing they do makes any sense. It's why they're so twisted. And the great archetype, the great final understanding is the tree of liberty is watered and nourished from the blood of patriots and tyrants, and that this is the sacrifice. It only exists because those of us made sacrifices before. They're what make us great. It's up to us to recreate that. So what I've had to go through is nothing compared to my forebears. So I'm honored to be associated with all of you. And I'm honored to be with you in this great quest for human liberty. As Martin Luther King said, not about what color we are, but what we stand for and who our soul is.
Electrify your day with Secret 12. It's like lightning in a bottle. We all have days in which we just can't seem to perform at the level we'd like to. InfoWars Life Secret 12 is designed to naturally energize your body and mind with 2 great tasting and super high quality forms of vitamin B12. Proper vitamin and nutrient intake is essential to keep your body functioning at optimum levels. The reality is, it's hard to take in the proper amount of vitamins we need each day with our modern diets. Secret 12 by InfoWars Life is an easy way to naturally upgrade your vitamin B12 intake and support your body's natural systems. It pairs 2 forms of vitamin B12 into one explosive formula. Vitamin B12 supports healthy energy levels through red blood cell formation and aiding in the body's natural processes, but it also assists with many other functions of the body. Electrify your mind and body and take your health to the next level. Experience the power of Secret 12 at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com.
Look at that. Everybody else is just like yellow or clear. That's because it's been denatured, it's been watered down. We didn't do that. You think I would metaphysically sell you something that is the very best I can get? I'd rather go to hell than do that. I will only give you the maximum best info, the maximum truth, the maximum product, because I want that goodwill. What I do to you, I do to myself. Don't you get the big secret? You ever seen fish oil look like that? No, you never seen that, have you? And this little jewel right here is solid, liquid consciousness. Look it up. Find out how even the FDA and the government admits fish oil is incredible. The number one thing anybody can do for themselves is take good fish oil or krill oil. Just like our information is dynamite, so are our products, InfoWarsStore.com.